Hello, hello. Welcome to Rise Up After Hours. Yes, it's what, Tuesday the 12th? Yep. And tonight I have some fun stuff for you guys. So I'm just going to get right into it and pull up our presentation because I know a lot of people, they like to listen to it or they like to read it. And so I want to always give that option to everybody who prefers to do one or the other, that you have the chance to, what's the word? Learn how you prefer. All right, here's the audience window. You should be able to still see me in the corner somewhere. And tonight we're talking about taking your hobby to business mode in 8 steps. This may or may not apply to you, but if you're here and you're watching either the recording or you're here live, even if you aren't planning to do this as a business, this is still going to be helpful and useful information. I hope that you stick around and watch to the end. All right, next slide, please. Real quick before we get into it, oh, where's my button to do the next slide? There it is. All right, SFR registration, just real quick news before we get into it, is the last day to register is April 30th. If you're still on the fence on doing that, make sure you do that before the end of the month. You can opt for the payment plan, which I believe is just $100 deposit, and then they'll take out whatever card or information you put in there. When you register, they'll pull out that money, the $100 in, I believe it's May, and then $100 in June, and it'll be paid for. So if you like the payment option, totally do that. The sooner you do that, the more time you have to like garage sale it up so that you can have that money in your account and pay for registration. Definitely worth it. There was a sizzle reel posted on the family consultant page today, but I don't know if you watched, but I'm like, I got so excited. I cannot wait to go and have a mom break too. But anyways, our next Rise Up After Hours is going to be April 26th, which is the 4th Tuesday of the month, which we always do. Same time, same place. And then if you guys, I have Google Calendar training on there. I don't know if anybody is needing information or training on how to better organize, prioritize your task list, and all that sort of stuff. I am curious. I wanted to put my feelers out there to see if anybody was interested in a training like that, because I found a system that I've been using for about a month now, and I'm loving it, and it's been so easy. So I thought I would share it with you guys if you're interested in it. And I see something in the chat just popped up. Google. Okay, yes. Melissa, you're interested. I know at least 2 other people are possibly, so all right, cool, Jenny. Cool, and on planet. Star Wars and Little Mermaid have not yet been announced to be here in April, but I think they might, if I had to guess, especially to get here in time for Star Wars Day, if I had to guess, I think it's going to be released this coming Monday. So they're probably going to announce it this week on Thursday, like they usually do. So just kind of keep your ears, in your eyes, looking at that news tab and seeing if anybody posts anything on any of their Scentsy Club or Scentsy consultant pages on Facebook. And then if you guys were not aware, I'm not sure if many of you guys know, but Annual Sales Award and Annual Mentor Award they run from May to April every year. So we're starting a new year, an annual award season in May 1st, which is what, like 3 weeks away? 3 weeks away. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about how you can earn these, because I think it's a really cool goal to have. I've never, until I earned the Annual Sales Award, I've never actually thought that I could, because I never decided that I would. Does that make sense? So I had to basically decide, I'm going to go for it. I made a plan to go for it, and then I earned it last year. I'm going to be about $5,000 to $6,000 shy, or 5,000 to 6,000 PRV shy of it this year, and that's okay with me. It's been a year. I haven't been like on the ball with it, and it just didn't happen for me this year because I didn't make a plan to do it. But if it's something you want to do, it starts May 1st. You have to sell 30,000 PRV in the course of May through April of this coming years. you will. And then for annual mentor award, that's an even more prestigious award because it involves helping others with their business. So you would have 14 new consultants help them certify, and you have earned the annual mentor award. I've been super close to earning that one a few times and I've just never done it, but I've always been like 3 or 4 shy, no big deal. It's always something that I strive for, but just so you guys know, I hope it's something you guys think about striving for this coming May when it starts. I see a chat. Star Wars is coming soon, Jenny. I know it's coming soon. All right, next slide. So I'm curious, leave in the comments below, what would you guys do with an extra $7,000 each year? And if you're watching in the replay, you can like put it on our team page. Like, I'm answering your question from your training the other day. I would spend $7,000 on, or what would you do with that? If you had an extra $7,000 in your pocket at the end of the year or each year, what would you do with it? How would you spend it? I'm curious. Leave it in the comments. I see one coming up. I'm just curious. I'm gonna peek at it. Buy a car, pay off bills, put towards your house. Heck yes. Living that debt-free life. Absolutely. I would likely, let's see, I'd probably, what would I do? I'd probably replace my front door. Oh, get new flooring. We need new flooring because our carpet's old and stained and kids. So maybe we'll get flooring with it. I don't know. We'll see. But treating your hobby like a business can actually help you achieve this. I'm going to talk about how in a minute. There's actually no limit to what you can earn with Scentsy with our business. It's like literally there's no cap to your income. There's no one going to ever tell you you cannot have that raise. Like if you work for it, you get to earn it, which is freaking amazing. I know consultants who have been on our shoes right now where you stand, whether you have 1 teammate or 0 teammates, or you've only ever done, $300, 300 PRV in 1 month, and that's the most you've ever done. Like there are people who have had that experience, but now they're earning this $7,000 in a month, 10,000, 20,000 in a month. It takes work, but the work is simple. And it does take consistency, but you guys are all super capable of doing this with tons of information, time, and effort. So I'm going to talk about how we can start. Where can we start? Because that seems overwhelming probably. So where are we going to start with this goal? Which brings us to taking our hobby to business, if you will. The first thing, I wish this is something everyone can do, and it's so simple. Create your own separate checking account. I wish someone would have told me this when I first started because it was super confusing to like be having my own personal money and then having someone pay me for their order, which was what you're supposed to do. I don't order anything unless I get paid first. But then like going to pay for their order, and somewhere along the line something gets mixed up and I don't know what happened, but my numbers don't match. It was confusing. So if you don't already have a separate checking, a lot of banks or even I think credit unions are more popular for this feature, but you can create like an account separate from your website. Go look into your bank, go find out, but I know a lot of them are free. So create your own separate checking account for your business. Keep your money separate. PayPal, by the way, here's a little tip that I've started doing with how we can pay through PayPal on our websites or the workstation. We can use PayPal to pay for people's orders, to submit payment to when we put in an order. So what I've started doing because of that option is that I now have people send me their money, not through Venmo, not through Zelle, not through Apple Pay, which is something that I've been accepting before. I ask them, please PayPal me, or you can send me your card number. And most people will be fine with either or. What's cool now is that they send me the money from PayPal. It stays in PayPal's account that I have, and then I can then submit their order and nothing gets affected in my checking account, which is super nice that I don't have to worry about that. I use the paypal.me link, and I just put like paypal.me / my last name, which is like the account that I have set up, and then / the amount that they're due. It sends them a link, they pay for their stuff, sends me the money, and then I can submit their order without ever having to transfer in and out of my bank. So hopefully that helps you guys. Something kind of on the side tangent. And then the other rule, the rule that I wish someone had mentioned to me when I first started, was the 50, 35, 15 rule, or you can actually make it whatever you want. It could be the 60, 30, and 10 rule. I don't know. But did I just add up to 100 there? I don't know. But what it means is that you want to, when you get paid with your business, alongside having your own separate checking account, you want to send some of your income to your family money, to where, like, go and buy yourself. Let's say you get paid $100 in commission, send $50 of it, which is 50%, to your personal account so that you can then treat your family to ice cream one day, treat your husband to a date night, I don't know, buy shoes for your kids, pay for public swimming during the summer. I don't know how much swimming is. Oh, the gas to get to the beach. There you go. Go do something and spend it on you and your family. It doesn't have to be 50%, but expect to spend some money back into your business so that you can have a business, which is the 35 and the 15. 15 refers to about the tax that you should be saving in case you owe taxes on your business, because we don't get taxed on our income. You want to be able to pay that when taxes are due. So 15% is pretty good rule. 10 to 20% is usually the norm. When you're just starting out though, likely you won't owe taxes because you'll have expenses to cover what taxes you would have paid. Ask your tax person if you don't have one. I can recommend somebody. I'm not a tax expert, but this is just a rule of thumb for what's a good plan for you if you want to try and do your business. No, not try, but to make your hobby into a business. And then that 35% that's left over, give or take, you decide, you can reinvest that back into your business. So that would be paying for postage, stamps, host gifts, mailers, advertising, like business cards when you run low on those, all the things that you buy that would help advertise your business. Maybe it's just enough money to order the newest wax collection or an LTO. That's what you use. You don't use your personal money. Okay, so that's a general good rule of thumb, but you, of course, you can decide and change it however you prefer. All right, let's see, where am I going? Did I do it? It's my computer's slow. I don't want to click too far ahead. Number 2 is prioritizing your time and for your business in your schedule. It doesn't mean that you are waking up and thinking and getting all your day done and then thinking at the end of the day, oh my gosh, what should I do for my Scentsy business today? No, you want to be intentional. The value that you get from your business is directly related to the effort you're making. If you're not happy with the value that you're receiving from your business, then you want to start putting more effort into it. You can't be expected to be paid for work that you haven't done, in other words. And it feels a little bit harsh to think about it that way, but it's true. Like if you were your own employee, if you were the boss of you and you know how much you've been working your business, would you have fired you already? When I was not doing these things and I was not focused on doing the right things, I would have said yes to that question. Even now, so I'm like, oh, you could be doing better. But there's always room for improvement. So yeah, you can't be disappointed by the value you're not receiving if you haven't done the work. Time blocking is a great method to help prioritize your time. If you want to know more about that, there's a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials on time blocking. Schedule your priorities first, and then you can add in the other stuff that's also nice to get done, kind of to do, but not necessarily takes the place or has a priority over maybe your business tasks. You want to block distractions, eliminate apps on your phone, remove notifications that distract you from what you're doing, unsubscribe or unfollow. That's a big one. If something on social media is making you feel ill or like making you feel envious in a not a good way, like not a motivating way, you want to unfollow that kind of influence. You don't want that in your life. Whatever you're saying yes to, you're going to be saying no to something else. You have to be very selective and get a little bit more comfortable by saying no more often. And it might mean that you're saying no because you're trying to create habits and routine. But here's something to think about. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Yeah. And you may not be spending physical time with people these days, but whatever influences you have most in front of you, whatever the biggest 5 influences you have, whether that's social media or whether that's a group text message that you have, I don't know. They are going to determine what conversations dominate your attention. Does that make sense? What you give, oh my goodness, what you give your attention to, what you think about most, your thoughts will determine how you feel, and your feelings will determine your actions. And did you know that about 95% of your action is subconscious habit? Like it's stuff that you aren't even aware that you're doing. For example, I don't know about you guys, but do you ever just wake up in the morning and then all of a sudden you roll over and your phone is in your hand and it's been there for 5 or 10 minutes and you're not even aware that you picked it up? Like it's just a thing that happens that you're not thinking about. It's because it's just subconscious. It's patterns that we've had and we're not aware of them. But when we become aware of these patterns of either how we're thinking about things or what we're influenced by, and we become more intentional with what we think instead of being influenced by others, that will change your behavior. If your influences and the people you spend time with are positive things, then that's great. That means that you're being influenced in a great way, that in the direction that you want to go, which is to get your hobby into a business. When your thoughts and your behavior changes, or when your thoughts change and you feel good, you feel motivated, you feel inspired, your behavior is going to change, and it's going to be more easy to see that to have your awareness on how you're thinking and feeling to then be able to change your action. Does that make any sense what I just said? If nothing changes, nothing changes. So something's got to change. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. It's one of my favorite new sayings. I'm going to say it forever and ever. Hopefully you don't get bored of me. Okay. I went too far. I'm back. My computer's being slow. I'm sorry, you guys. All right. Number 3 is to set goals. I love that GIF. Set goals monthly and measure them. What you don't measure, you can't manage. So we're gonna, and it totally looks funny on the screen. That's okay. You can still see everything it says. Did you know that when you write your goals down, when you actually physically write them down or plan them somewhere, maybe you're a digital person, when you write them out digitally or physically, you are 43% more likely to achieve your goals, especially when you tell somebody else to. So like when I post sometimes on the 1st of the month, what are your goals? What are you working towards this month? That's a great time to write them down. We're going to work backwards when we are setting our goals. As a business owner, you want to know, what do you want from your business? Like only you guys can know that answer. What do you want? Do you want to, buy new shoes for your kids? Do you want to afford a little vacation in a month or 2? What is it that you want? You have to decide what you want. Why do you want that? Why is that important? And then figure out how much PRV are you going to need to get that. It's as simple as that. You got to, what's it called? Backwards engineer. What's it called? Reverse engineer. There we go. Reverse engineer your goal. So start with what you want, and then you're going to have to figure out how much PRV do you need to get that. Once you understand the math and how to get paid, and you log your daily numbers, you are going to be treating your business like a hobby. Let me show you an example. So here we're going to go straight down the line. So stay with me at the top for now. Let's say that you want to have a $500 commission every month, because that's $6,000 a year. That's pretty good, right? $6,000. It's almost what I have left paid on my car, like when I need to pay on my own car. How do we get 500 commission? Well, let me show you. Come down to the second line. It says 400 PRV is about $100 income. So if we want to get 500 commission, this is how we're reverse engineering our goal. We know we need to multiply that 400 PRV by 5, because that'll give us $500 in income. That's that third line there. 25% commission, assuming that you're all certified consultants. If you're not, you can get there this month. It's doable. But wait, there's more. For 2000 PRV, if you've ever looked in the compensation plan, there is a 5% bonus automatically when you have 2000 PRV. Exactly, you're going to get paid 30%. Now, what kind of job out there on a monthly basis allows you to like get an extra 5% in your paycheck if you feel like it? There's not a lot of jobs that do that. There are some, but not a lot. Ours is one of them. And so when you have 2000 PRV, which will definitely get you that $500 commission, but with that 30%, instead, it's going to get you $600 in income for that month, which is actually $7,200 a year, which is that 7,000 we just talked about. Right. So wait, before you go and like say, wait a second, I can't do that. I've never done that. Did you think that for a second right there? Did you have that little like thought pop in your head and think, oh, that's not me. I'm never going to be able to do that. That probably made you feel pretty crappy because I know it used to make me feel that way. So I'm assuming some of you feel that way. When you heard 2000 PRV, did you think, that's not me. I've never done that. I don't think I can do that. There's no way that's going to be me one day. Those are your thoughts that made you feel a certain way. And guess what's going to happen? Your actions will be changed by how you just thought. But I just made you aware. So now, because your brain is powerful, you can change what you think. It sounds like poppycock. It sounds like new age hippie stuff, but it's true. It's totally true. You simply have to become aware of your thoughts when you see something like this and change your thoughts and say to yourself, because your brain is dumb, I'm gonna say it right now, your brain is dumb and will believe whatever you tell it to believe. Jennifer Anderson says that. Your brain is dumb and it will believe anything you tell it to believe. So guess what we're gonna tell it to believe? Hey, I can totally figure out how to do this. I can learn how to get to 2000 PRV. I know that I can do it. I can. I just have to figure out how. And 2000 PRV is going to be my monthly goal because I want $7,000 a year. But why? Why do you want $7,000 a year? Because of, and whatever you said at the beginning, pay off your car, put it towards your house, take a family vacation. I don't know, go to SFR with me next year. Whatever you want to do, you have to decide to do it. And let's break down that 2000 PRV because it does kind of feel big. It feels like a stretch, especially if you've never done it before. But I want you to start changing your thoughts and plan your goals out so that you are treating your business like a business. So 2000 PRV is about 500 PRV a week. If you have one awesome party a week, that's like one afternoon every weekend that you are doing a physical party, if that's how you choose to work your business, then that's amazing. That's one afternoon you're doing 500 PRV and ta-da, you have $7,000 a year. Or maybe that still feels kind of scary, kind of hefty. So now you're going to do instead, you're going to think about it this way. You're going to think 72 PRV a day. Or to even simplify it further, 2 6-pack of bars and a light bulb every day. And you'll earn that. Sounds a little less scary, a little more doable. And it helps us with our thoughts, which change how we feel, which then changes our actions and helps us with taking action. Maybe 6-pack of bars doesn't resonate with you. Maybe it's like a $40 warmer and a 6-pack of 6-pack of bars. However you want to think about it. Maybe if you see 2000 PRV a month and instead it helps you to say or to think about it this way, that's only, what is that? 8 air purifiers. Like you could do that in a day if you really have everything planned out. Like, that's something that you could do. Let me show you guys how we're going to track this information, because once we know 72 PRV a day will equal $7,000 in a month, in a year, or more if you want more, especially if you grow a team and teach them to do the same. Here's how we're going to track, because again, what we don't measure, we cannot manage. So I use my Google Calendar list. You can see it there. It says business tasks, That's part of the list that I have log daily numbers on as my task. And I have it so it repeats every day. So automatically every day I look at my Google Calendar and it automatically populates this to do for me. I usually like to do it just after the girls go to bed. So about 9 o'clock at night, when I get to my computer and whatnot. And where I log them, I'm going to show you, is a Google Sheet. And I have the link to that Google Sheet right here, so that I don't have to search through Google Sheets to find it. It's automatically click the link and it takes me right to where I log my numbers. And that, again, it looks like this. So it's kind of small. I'm sorry that it's small. I'll share the link with you so you guys can copy and create your own Google Sheet if this is something you want to use. But pardon me, you'll see, I hope you can see the little red, or the blue dot. Yeah, it right here is where I put my previous month numbers at the end of the month. I put my previous year of the same month. So I kind of see like, what did I do last year? What did I do last month? And then I make a plan for this month. So you're not going to get to 2000 PRV overnight, but maybe your average is 200. So then now you're going to try for 400, try doubling it a little bit. And then the next month you try for 600, work your way up to what's comfortable. If you want to go like full out for it, you can absolutely. But I recommend starting little increments just because it feels more doable. And I want you to find success right away. And I log the PRV, the team wholesale volume, group size, team size, how many active frontline that I have. And when you become a leader and you are a leader and you're growing your teams, your paycheck is directly related to how many active frontline you have. So that's why it's important to know. And then any new frontline that you have, any new teammates that you've helped start their Scentsy business, you would also want to log that. I also, because from my own personal preference, I kind of like to know, like if I see a big jump in PRV, I've done this physically in the past, by the way. This is what I used to do in the past. I would have like an actual binder, but then I would forget to do it some days. Like there's 3 days missing right here. So it's nice that it's on my Google Calendar and it's all like it's in my pocket literally everywhere I go. But if maybe paper is better for you, you could do it here. But I always was curious when I look back at the paper ones, like why did I jump 500 PRV that day? And then I would remember, oh, that was like the Star Wars day that all the Star Wars came out or whatever. So that's why I have that little side part here where you can put, what comes out, or if you had a party or an event that closed, you can write that information down there. And then this other side over here is review and refresh, which is a lot more of like detailed planning to kind of give you insight into where you want to go and how. You'll be able to look at that later. It's a little bit more intensive, but I just want to introduce it to you for now. So the next slide, number 4, is going to be, you want to have systems. You want to have systems. You will not rise to the level of your goals. You will fall to the level of your system. So if you don't have a system for PRV, if you don't have a way in which you always get 2000 PRV, you're not going to have it because you don't have a system to support the goal. So let's say you want to make a cake and cake is the goal. 2000 PRV is the cake, by the way. Without the right ingredients, without the method, without the recipe, without the steps that you need in order to make the cake that you want. You can think about the cake as much as you want. 2000 PRV, wouldn't that be nice? 7,000 PR or $7,000 in my pocket at the end of the year. That'd be amazing. You can envy how other people have that cake, right? You've made the goal to make a cake. You might, I don't know, like doodle and dream and have vision boards about cake, but until you do the work to make the cake, until you go get the recipe ingredients and you do the work, you're not going to have the cake. It won't ever come to fruition. So the same thing applies to a system for PRV. Your system can look so many different ways, and not everybody's system for PRV is going to look the same. Some people love doing events. Their system is going to be all events, maybe. Maybe some people are all about Scentsy Clubbers and they're going to have 2000 PRV on Scentsy Clubbers. Wouldn't that be amazing? What a goal to have. Maybe people love having parties. Maybe that parties are not for you. You hate parties. You'd rather do mailers or newsletters or email lists or blogs or social media. Maybe you hate social media and you're going to do all referrals and realtor business. I don't know. There's so many different ways. Fundraise is another great way to have a system for PRV. You get to decide what your system is and when you're going to do those things in your system. How much of each of those things do you want to have happen? Like maybe you do like, only 2 parties a month, but you prefer to get most of your PRV from Scentsy Club. That's your system to have PRV. Work on those 2 things. You get to decide. That is the beautiful thing. That's also the scary thing, because you have no one telling you what to do. So what I recommend is trying a little bit of it all, or go and looking to see how other people are working. Go and look on YouTube and see how are other people having PRV. That is phenomenal. Ask me, I'm happy to share. Monthly mailers have been working pretty good. I love Scentsy Club. I've got a good decent chunk of Scentsy Club, but it doesn't have to look like anybody else's business. I'm inspired by a lot of people, and I've just made it my own over time. And I've tried some things that have worked, some things that definitely haven't worked. You got to try it all and then see what you prefer, what works best for your life too. Maybe like you don't do events because you can't get to places. Maybe social media is what you're going to become really good at. I don't know. It's up to you, but you need a system. Number 5 is to show up and foster community, help foster community. Share your knowledge, simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Generosity, right? You want to authentically work your business, keep it simple so that someone else can see what you're doing and want to do the same thing. And you want to be generous with your knowledge that you've just learned. So go and tell people, go and share it on our team page, go live. I love that Rachel went live the other day. It was like, is my dream coming true? I know it sounds crazy, but it was, because I love when other people share, because guess what? I'm going to learn from you too. And I love that it's authentic, because we're not all polished. There are some consultants that are intimidating and can be very polished. That is not my style. And that's good. I want you to show up and share how you've been working your business. Participate in conversations. When we have questions at the end of this day and at the end of this training, ask a question. Don't be shy, because I'm sure other people have the same question. Attend the team trainings. Hooray for you guys who are here tonight, and awesome for you guys who are watching the replay, because some people don't even bother. Okay, so that's amazing for you guys. Be present in our group, comment. Hang out at team socials. That's part of fostering community. Guys can see like there's some pictures there from a couple of events and community things, which was super fun. And I love, getting to have more friends. It's always better. And then share your Scentsy life. This is a very old picture, as you can tell. The boxes are super vintage Scentsy from, I think this was probably 2015, maybe 14. Yeah, this was me sharing my Scentsy life. That was a meme that I made that says, there is no such thing as hoarding Scentsy because it's Scentsy or something like that. It's really funny. But you want to consider why would people want to buy Scentsy from you? If you never show or talk about Scentsy in your life, why would they want to buy it from you? What problems is it solving for you? What are the benefits that you have, that you are gaining from having used Scentsy and then now also sharing it? Like you're getting paid. You're meeting new people. You guys can still see. Okay, I hit the button, so I'm sorry. Got distracted. Yeah, how are people gonna know what you love if you're not telling them? And maybe you're like, okay, that sounds like social media. I don't want to do social media. That's not my jam. Or maybe it is, and that's great. You already have an answer on how you're going to do this. If you're not a social media person, there are things you can do, like emails. Maybe you put together a weekly email and you learn all about how to do an email newsletter. And in your email, you feature not a post, but like a picture with a little blurb about what you did that week that was Scentsy related and what benefits you got from using your products. Instagram stories, Facebook, Pinterest. Pinterest posts are great for things like home decor things. So it's a really great way to add sorry, I got distracted. To add Scentsy in there. There we go. Snapchat, TikTok, Reels, and text messages. Now you're probably thinking, well, Danielle, I don't want to text people. Has anybody ever signed up for like Old Navy emails or Staples or anything like that, and then gotten like 3 emails in a day. Well, if they can email people 3 times, why can't you send a text message once a week? You guys, they can totally. I just saw your thing, Jenny. Krista can totally join the meeting anytime. But yeah, if they can send us emails all the time, why can't we text them once a week? Like, it's not that big a deal, unless you make it more of a deal. Okay, let's see. Next one, number 7. We're almost there. We have 2 more. Attend Scentsy events. If you are treating your business like a business, you want to try and attend the event. So I know it might be too late for Scentsy Family Reunion because you haven't saved all year long, but make a plan today to attend it next year for sure if you're not coming this year. It is worth the time and money to go. Trust me, just trust me. There's this energy about it. It is amazing. I highly recommend attending. And you might even end up in the catalog because that picture of me and Leslie and her husband, Daryl, are actually on the Scentsy.com website right now. If you scroll down about halfway through the page, there is a Join Scentsy Consultant or Join Scentsy button, and that picture is right there, which is super funny because I'm actually holding a donut in that box that's shaped like male genitalia, and it's hilarious. Anyways, World Tour is a more affordable. It happens in the February, January season. It's a little bit like probably January, late January, early February. It's more affordable. Like I said, it's local and plan to attend. Usually we register for that in the winter time, like December, November time. So plan to spend some money to attend that. I know, Rachel, it's hilarious that there's that shaped donut in my hand on the Scentsy website. And I was in the catalog too, that next year, which in 2020, the spring catalog. I have copies of it if you want to see. I'll show you. I was in the catalog. Anyways, okay, what else? My notes. Totally forgot my notes. Yeah. Oh, they say leaders are born at events, and it's absolutely true. You will be inspired. You will meet people if you want to meet people. You don't have to talk to anybody, but you end up meeting people and becoming friends with them, and they're super personable. It's just really awesome. Budget for it. Have a garage sale to be able to go if you want to. There's still plenty of time to try and figure that out. And what's really cool too is that you won't ever be able to really tell unless you recognize them because you've watched their trainings who the Scentsy superstar directors are, because everyone kind of like, we all sit together in a big family kind of style. Like, it's not like people who are quote unquote elitist, like they don't sit over there by themselves. No, we all sit together and it's super family, and it's so awesome to see how many different types of people are Scentsy consultants. And I love that about our culture. Number 8 is probably the most important, is to cultivate a growth mindset. If you want to treat your hobby like a business and have a business, you need to start here, because this is probably, I know it's number 8, it's the last one on my list, but it's probably the most important thing. Because if you think, like when we were talking about 2000 PRV, if you think to yourself, well, that will never be me. Well, guess what? What was it? Henry Ford, who said, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. It starts up here. And it is the most important thing. You have to believe it's possible. And it is possible. There are so many examples out there, people doing it. I'm doing it. I know you probably know at least one other person. People who are here on our call tonight, you know them, they're doing it. It is something that you are capable of, and you have, and what it is, let's dive into what it means. If you don't know what it means, having a fixed mindset and growth mindset, they basically describe your belief systems about your ability to change, grow, and develop over time. I always think of my mom, because she's like, I hate math. I don't know how to do math. I'll never know how to do math. And guess what? She's not going to ever know math or how to do math or feel comfortable doing math because she believes that she can't. Sorry to call you out, Mom, if you ever watch this one day, but it's true. To have a growth mindset means that you know that your skills can be improved upon when you fail It is a learning opportunity. When something is uncomfortable and you do it anyways, you've learned from it. It's an opportunity for growth. That's what a growth mindset is. If you believe your qualities are essentially unchangeable or fixed, you're going to be less open to mistakes. You're less likely to try because you think that you can't. With a growth mindset, it sounds kind of oversimplified, but it's not, because it's a big hurdle in people's minds. Like, you have to change how you think. With a growth mindset, you know that you can change over time, and therefore you're open to reflection, to learning, to trying different things and growing from challenges, because failure isn't so scary. It's not so scary. You have to be brave for, like, I always think of, I think it was Melissa McGrath. Is that how you say her last name? Graf, something like that. Melissa, she says you have to be brave for like 30 seconds to do the scary thing for 30 seconds, and then you'll realize, holy crap, I didn't die from it. Successful Scentsy business owners, they understand their skills are something that they can always improve. You're always learning. Even like, I'm still watching trainings, and I've done this business for 7 years, and I still watch trainings all the time, because I always want to get better, always. And there's always something to learn and be better at. And it's so cool that when I've reflected now on the last 7 years, I'm kind of floored at the things I know how to do now that I didn't know how to do before. It's kind of like, it's really a really awesome feeling knowing that I've learned how to do these things. Growth takes time, and know that consistent effort over time will get you where you want to be. You just have to be consistent, rest when you need to, learn new skills, practice those skills, and keep going, and teach other people how to do those skills is also part of it. Those are the 8 steps that I thought. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and stop the sharing if I figure out how. Okay. Does anybody have questions? Feel free to unmute yourself, come online, like come on the screen if you'd like.